There was the before and the after, the quiet and the noise, the off and the on. It was the moment when I felt like I appeared, pushing everything that I was out of myself like the notes I sang were a strong currented river, able to disgorge me. I'd written this song in about 20 minutes. It had fallen into my head fully formed, like something in a dream. It swooped and soared from the bottom of my register to the top, and there was a moment after the second bridge when the instruments cut out and I hit a note that blasted through the sudden silence like a wrecking ball. Tonight, since I knew it was the last show of the tour, I sang it with everything I had left, let it pull me to my tiptoes and to the edge of the stage, sweat flicking off my hair as I threw myself open before the screaming crowd. The crowd. They thundered around me, their stomps and screams like my own heartbeat, their energy coursing through me like blood. These were the moments I lived for. These were the moments that made every other miserable bit of fame worth it. I opened my arms, threw my head back, and shattered myself to pieces for them, until there was nothing left. "It's a phenomenal opportunity, a real honor," Dougal, our manager, was saying as we sat in Coco's dressing room after the show. I was so exhausted I could hardly listen to him. Still floaty from performing, I was already gone, back to New York in my apartment, blissfully alone. "It would just mean extending by 3 more weeks. Easy peasy." My blitz brain caught on the absurdity of easy peasy before it got around to processing the rest of his sentence. "Extending?" I croaked around my cherry menthol cough drop. "Just for 3 weeks or so," Dougal confirmed. "The Scandinavian leg of the tour would end the first day of the Deadbeat Festival. Done." I looked around at the rest of the band, expecting to see that they were equally horrified at the idea of extending the tour. But Coco looked excited, her foot tapping like it always did when she was plotting. Ethan was nodding, and Ven had leaned forward, elbows on knees. My heart began to trip hammer, and suddenly the taste of the cherry threatened to make me sick. I shook my head. "You guys, no way, I can't." My throat felt raw, a metallic taste lurking beneath the cherry and menthol. "But the Deadbeat Festival," Coco crowed, at the same time Ven said, "It's a major ask and major sales after the festival." Coco shot him a look, as if they'd already discussed the tack they were going to take, and that wasn't it. Had they discussed it? Had Dougal told them but not me? She went on. "Cavalcade and the Runny Whites are playing. DJ Romulus is going to be there. If it'd make people think of us as being in the same league as artists like them, how can we turn it down? Besides, it's only 3 more weeks. What's 3 weeks after 4 months? Then Ethan and Dougal nodded their agreement, and my heart sank. This date marked in my calendar had been the only thing getting me through the last month. The Boston show meant the end of the tour, the promise of home, of the familiar streets of my neighborhood, the warmth and solitude of my own bed, and the chance to just be, without being under constant scrutiny. I longed for it. But I couldn't say any of that to the band. They had been living for this tour. After all, it was what they'd always been working toward, long before they'd met me. I was opening my mouth to say I just didn't have another 3 weeks left in me, when Ven fixed me with a cool stare. "Come on, bro. Everyone says you're the star. Well, stars have to pay their dues." And there it was. They were all looking at me. Coco's expression was pleading, Ethan's hopeful, Ven's a challenge, and Dougal's the studied neutrality of calculation. "You all want to?" I asked them, and was immediately met with a chorus of yeses. How could I let them down? We were a team. We were supposed to look out for one another. Usually we were friends, too. I needed to be on the same side as them, or being in Riven was beyond lonely. If I said no, I ruined it for all of them. Besides, Coco was right about what it meant for us to be asked to play the festival, to be asked to add dates to our tour. It meant we'd arrived. If only I wanted to be at the